Imagine a retired couple who followed conventional wisdom to the letter. They saved a substantial nest egg, adhered to the 4% withdrawal rule, and prioritized high-quality dividend ETFs to ensure their income would remain steady even during a market downturn. This chart of the early 2020 market crash illustrates why dividend investors often feel so secure. While broad indices plummeted, quality dividend funds continued to provide cash flow, allowing retirees to pay their bills without selling shares at the bottom. But the following April, an unexpected tax bill arrives that is large enough to negate months of dividend growth, forcing the couple to liquidate the very assets they spent decades protecting. Theoretical retirement models, such as William Benjamin's original 4% rule, were calculated using market returns in a tax-free vacuum. In practice, every withdrawal is subject to the rigid enforcement of the Internal Revenue Service. A series of invisible IRS tripwires, embedded in the specific way their accounts were structured, triggered a self-reinforcing chain reaction of wealth destruction. Navigating a market crash is only half of the retirement survival equation. For the modern retiree, the most persistent threat to longevity is a phenomenon known as the tax cascade. The first tripwire is often set years in advance by placing a high-yielding dividend ETF, like SCHD, inside a standard, taxable brokerage account. This exposes the investor to provisional income, the specific metric the IRS uses to tax your Social Security check. To find this number, the IRS adds your regular income to half of your Social Security, then stacks your total dividend yield on top. Crossing the $44,000 threshold makes 85% of your Social Security benefits taxable. This creates what researchers call the Social Security torpedo, where the effective tax rate on extra dividends can reach 44%. This surge in taxable income does more than just trigger the torpedo. It ripples through the rest of your financial profile, activating the second phase of the cascade. This is IRMA, a hidden Medicare surcharge that penalizes retirees with high reportable income. Crossing the $218,000 threshold for a couple triggers a mandatory increase in healthcare premiums, costing roughly $4,600 extra every year. Because these thresholds are rigid, earning just a few extra dollars in dividends can trigger a cycle where taxes and healthcare surcharges multiply faster than the portfolio can grow. A different retiree reaches age 73, the IRS mandates required minimum distributions. These are forced withdrawals taxed at ordinary income rates, regardless of whether you need the money. A successful growth fund creates massive forced withdrawals that loop right back into the start of the cascade, re-triggering the Social Security torpedo and pushing the retiree back over the IRMA cliffs. Assets that grow the fastest create the largest mandatory distributions, which can overwhelm a retirement plan if they are trapped in the wrong account type. Neutralizing the cascade requires a shift in strategy from asset allocation to asset location, the practice of matching specific investments to the account types that shield them best. High-yield dividend funds belong in a traditional IRA, disarming the Social Security torpedo. High-growth funds go in a Roth IRA, growing tax-free without triggering IRMA. Taxable accounts are reserved for broad market index funds, capturing foreign tax credits to boost returns. When modeled over 30 years, the difference between a cascade portfolio and a strategically located one amounts to hundreds of thousands of dollars in preserved wealth. Sustainable retirement isn't just a matter of hitting a specific savings target. It is the result of mastering the invisible rules that determine how much of that wealth you actually get to keep.